Okay. Uh, if I want to place the images onto the web page, then we are going to use a tag called IMG tag. So how do I make the IMG tag? It's a simple, the syntax is very simple for it. IMG tag followed with src is equal to, src is the attribute. So src is equal to image file. Which image you want to place it onto your web page, that you can define it. Generally what we do is, maybe you may be using a GIF file, or maybe it's a JPG file, or maybe it is PNG file. So different types of files will be using it. Now, which file you want to display it onto the web page, that image name, that file name can be given there. Okay. We, in addition to this one, like what we can do is we can also have the attributes like width and height attribute can also be used. So where this width and height attribute are going to control us, what is the size, the how the image is going to be displayed. So for example, I'm having a big image there. I want to make it short. Okay, I want to display the size, a small size I want to display. So you can use the height or width options can be made use of. When I'm using this height and width, I can specify the values in either you can give the value in pixels, or you can give the values in the percentages, you can give the value. So we'll see one example and then we'll discuss more on that. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm using Visual Studio Code, I'm using it. How we are going to install the Visual Studio Code means, to install the Visual Studio Code, so you're going to use, you can search for Visual Studio Code in the Google, and then you can download it. One second. Okay, I will see. If you have any difficulty in that, again, I'll let you know. So what you can do is, so for Visual Studio Code, so you can open the Google, that is, go to the Google, okay, and then search for Visual Studio Code. Search for Visual Studio Code, and then you'll be able to download that particular code. I mean, Visual Studio Code software can be downloaded. So what I'm using now is only the Visual Studio Code I'm using it. So we have lots of advantages of this. I'll save my file. So where I want to save my file. So I want to save my file with the name called, okay, C3 I'm giving it. I'm giving a file name called c3.html I'm giving. I'm saving it. Now, the basic advantage of using this Visual Studio Code is, for example, when you're going to write the HTML page you're going to design. So we start with HTML tag. We need to start with the HTML tag. Then we need to start the head section, then title section, then close the title, close the head, close the, then open the body part, then close the body, closing the head section, sorry, the HTML, all that you have to type it manually. Instead of this one, so when I'm using my Visual Studio Code, simple what you can do is you type the exclamatory mark, you type it, and then press the tab key. If you press the tab key, you see automatically it is going to give me the doc type is given, HTML language type, all these things are going to be given for me. So this is the advantage of using the one of the IDEs, like one of the text editors like the Visual Studio Code. Okay, I want to place an image, then I'm using IMG tag there. So IMG tag source is equal to, you can give some file name. Now in your system, what the file is present, based upon that file you can give it. Now for example, let us say that I'm having a file called, so let us say hr dot, okay, jpg file is there for there. So this file you want to display onto the screen. Now just give img src is equal to hr.jpg, you give it, then the image is going to be displayed. Uh, Let me check where exactly the file is available for me. I'm opening my browser, file explorer I have opened. Okay, and then, so my file is actually present for me on my desktop. Then I'm having a folder called et2.0. So in this one, I'm having a file called HR logo is there for me here. So HR logo, it's a PNG file for me. Okay, I need to give the path of it. HR logo dot PNG, I'm giving it file name, right? Okay. Now, if I give it, then I'm saving it. Then I'll go to the browser. I'll open the browser. So browser like Chrome I'm opening in. After once you open the Chrome, now I want to see the output of my HTML file. Now you can use Control plus O here. So it asks me to select my file there. So my file is available in a folder called HTML folder. So in this one, I have given a file name called C3. And then I say open. Now you see that the image is not displayed for us. Okay, why the image is not displayed here means because the image is not available for me in my folder where I am working. I'm working in this folder. You can see that folder there. BIT HTML. This is the folder where you are working. So then when I'm specifying the source, the image source, I given just simply image source is equal to this one. That means it is trying to open a file from the working directory. Now where I'm present, I'll do one thing. I'll write the comments there. The HTML comments I'll be writing it. Now remember the HTML comments will be putting it in the less than symbol followed with the exclamatory mark, double hyphen, and then ending with double hyphen followed with the greater than. So this is called a comment there. That means it's a non-executable statement. Okay. So where exactly my file is present for me? My file is located. So maybe any drive, whatever it is. Then, so we have a folder. Okay, let me write the full path there. The full path is it is available for me in the Javed folder, the bit slash html. There my file is there called c3.html file is there. This is my path. Now when I'm specifying when I'm not giving any path over here, that is just simply I'm giving the file name, then it will try to load my file name from that folder called html. Now in case the file, now if you look in, the file is present for me in some other folder, then what I do is I need to give the path for it. Okay, this is my file called HR logo. So I need to give the path there for it. So where exactly the file is present, you need to give the path for it. Now, so this is my file now. Okay, I want to get the path of it. Actually, it is present for me in the this PC desktop followed with the ET 2.0 folder. So here my file is present. So what I do, I'll give a right click on this. Then I'm selecting the option called the properties. Okay, why I've selected the properties means I want to know the location of it. I don't know the complete path. I don't know it. So what I'm doing, I'm using the option called location here. Right? You able to understand what I'm doing? The first, I found that there is one JPG file, sorry, some PNG file is there. So where it is present for me on my desktop. Okay, and then it is there for me. Now I want to know the path of this one. So what I'm doing, right click on this file, then select the option called properties. So once I select the option called properties now, so as a part of these properties of this particular file, it is showing me the location is C colon user Jaya, like that it is showing for me. I'm selecting it, I'm copying the path. Okay, I copied the path there and I'm clicking cancel there. And after that, I'll go to my browser, sorry, my Visual Studio Code, I'm going there. Okay, so in the Visual Studio Code, now I need to give the complete path. I'm using the Control plus V I'm using to paste the path. Okay, then I'm saving it, going back to the browser, then I'm using refresh. Now you see that the logo is displayed for you on screen, right? We are able to display the logo there. Now, where exactly the file was present for me? It was present in a folder called ET 2.0 where it is available for me in a desktop, in a folder called desktop. Now, if I wanted to know the path of this one, then what I did, I gave a right click on this, then I have opened the properties. Then in the properties, you see that the location is going to be there. Copy the location, select the location, copy, Control C to copy it. Then, okay, I'll just click on cancel. Then after that, what I'm doing, I'm going back to my Visual Code. Then I have pasted my path there, and then I gave the file name hrlogo.png. Okay, so this method, so what we are doing is now we are giving the complete path for this one. So generally, this is what you call it's called the absolute path. Okay, this is called the absolute path. That means you are giving the path right from the beginning of your drive. So what you're doing, you're giving C colon, all that you're doing, right? This is called the absolute path. Okay, the kind of path that we are given here, you're what you're doing, you're giving the complete path, you are giving it. So right, it's called the absolute path. Okay. Now instead of doing this method, generally this absolute path method is not advised in case of the web designing. Okay, this is not advised in web design. Now comes the question why it's not advised for me means because whenever you're going to have this now development part or designing part you're doing on your machine, but future what you do is so you'll be deploying it or you'll be moving to the server. When I'm moving it to the server, then what happens? So this kind of absolute paths will not work for us. 99% will not be working for us. Then to avoid that one, what we do is we prefer to have the relative path. We prefer to have the relative path. So generally when you talk about the relative path, that means what? Copy the file to your working location. Okay, so what we do, copy the file to your location, that is to your file location. Okay, copy it to your file location and then work on it. So what I'm doing now, I'm going back to my browser, file explorer. I given a right click on this one, then I'm asking to copy. I'm using the option called copy there. So my file is present for me in D drive, okay, the drive folder like that. So what I'm doing, I'm going to the location where my file is present, okay. Then in that, okay, so I'm having a folder called HTML folder is there. Now it is best advised is put your image files into a different folder. So for that purpose, what I do, I'll use a right click and then I select, okay, new, then I'm creating a folder there. I've created a folder called images, then enter, okay. Then I'm pasting my file here, Control plus V I'm using it. So once I use Control plus V, so what happened? The image file is going to be placed here for me in the folder. Now what I'm doing is, this is the location where I'm working. Now what I'm doing, okay. So let me copy this stuff. So this is the location where I'm working. Now my file is also available, my image file. So image file in, that is in the previous directory of, in the current directory, okay. Dot indicates the current directory. In that I have created a folder called images. Then I have created a folder called, in that images folder I have copied my file called hrlogo.png. File is copied there. Understood? Able to understand what I'm telling there? So if you're not, if you're not able to follow, any doubts you're having it, you can unmute your microphone and let me know it. Now what I did is, so my file is present for me in this folder. Okay. Then what I did, for my image file also, what I'm doing, I'm creating a folder. So we are creating a folder. Okay. Now what is the folder name? Images. And I'm placing my file there. So placing the file now. Okay. In that. Then how do I use that? So then when I'm going to talk about my image there, so I'll not be using this absolute path. I'm not going to use it, but I'll use the relative path now. So I want to tell exactly where my file is present now. Then instead of giving the complete path now where, that ET0, all that, I'm not doing that. Now I'll be using images. The folder name is images, and then followed with hrlogo.png. You're going to do that. Then I'll save this. Okay. I'll go to the browser. Alt tab I'm using it. I'm going to the browser, and then I'm asking to refresh. Now you see one more image is displayed for us next to next. So this image, I am using the absolute path here. Okay, I'm using the first one. This is the absolute path. Now here what I've done, I have given the relative path. Now where exactly my file is present? It is present for me in the images folder. Okay, or no, you want to use the absolute path for this one. You want to use. Okay, I want to use the absolute path for the same file. Okay, the same file I want to use the absolute path. Then simply go to the file explorer, right click on this file, select the properties option. I'm selecting the properties. So in the properties, if you look, there is a location there. So I'm selecting the location. Then so I'll go to my Visual Studio Code now. Okay, I'm using the path now. Now this is what you call the absolute path. You're going to give the path right from the beginning of the drive. That is from the D drive onwards, you're going to give it. So right from this location, I'm specifying it. This is what you call absolute path. Now remember, in the absolute path is not advised for us in case of the web designing part. Why it is not advised? Simple reason. So today you are developing it on your local machine. That is in your own machine, you're doing the development. Tomorrow what will happen? You'll be moving all these files to the server. So when I'm moving this one to the server and I'm using the absolute path, there what happens? This path and that path will be different for me. So it will not be what you call it. You will not be in a position to display the images and all. So it's always better is not to use the absolute path in case of your web designing. Okay. So this method is not advised. So this method is not advised for you. You always use this method, that is the relative path. So what I'm doing is I'm using the images followed with the file name and I'm giving it. Okay. So it is taken as an absolute, it will be taken as a reference path. Sorry, the relative path it will be taking it as. Okay. Fine. I'll go to my browser then again. See, if you look in here, my file name, I've selected my file name. So it is giving me what the path you're looking. I'll just do one thing. I'll copy this path and go to my Visual Studio Code. Okay. So how the path is displayed for me in Visual Studio Code now. So if you look in, it is going to show me like this path d colon backslash forward slash Javed, like that is showing you. But when I'm typing, I'm using backslash. I'm using backslash here. Able to understand now here? I'm using backslash, but whereas my system is using forward slash. So d colon slash Javed, like that it is using. But when I'm typing it as d colon followed with backslash like this. No, you do one thing, you find out and tell me why it is so there is a difference there. So when I'm typing, I'm using a backslash, but when my system is showing you, my system shows me it's a forward slash. Okay, why there is a difference there? What is that? Why? What is going to happen there? What is that forward slash and backslash? So why that difference comes for me? Okay, you'll identify and you'll be telling me, right? Okay, you find out what is that basic, why it is basic, something like that, right? You just find out and let me know. Yeah, fine. I'm talking about this image display. So here, this is the original image it's going to display for me. Now, this image, I want to have small size has to be changed for me. Now, if I want to change the size of this particular image now, so what I will do is, I'm using the attribute called the height and width. I'm using the attribute called height. Height is equal to, I want to get it down to 50%, I want to decrease. Okay, I'll just given width height is equal to 50%. Now let us see this Alt F5. Now you see, so height, why it isn't there? Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll change the width of it. So width is equal to 50%. What is that? Okay. So what has happened now? So I'm given width is equal to 50%. So when I say width is equal to 50%, so what is happening? Now you see that it is taking 50% of your window size. So my window, if you see, this is your window, the whole thing is your window. Now this is occupying 50% of my window size. So you see, this is the exactly half of your window size it is. Now, if I'm using the percentage, that means what will happen here, it is going to take the window sizes. I'm giving 25%. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll use one more. So one is 50% so that we can understand how it is working. So other one is 25% I'm giving. So in between one and this one and that one, I'll use a BR tag I'm using so that it moves for me to the next line. You see? So here 25% I given. That means in this one, it's going to be 50% of this the image what we are seeing it, or it is going to be 25% of this whole window size. So like this also you can specify. So we can also specify the width. Okay, width can also be specified using the px values. So px means pixels, you can give it. No, I'll give the value as 25 px. I'm giving it. When I say 25 px now, it's going to be what? You see that the image is going to be very small. You see it here. 25 pixels is very small. I'll do one thing, 225 pixels I'll give it. Now you see, it's a very small size now it's going to be. So 225 pixels I'm giving it. The size is going to be like this. It depends upon your requirements. It is always better not to use the pixels, it's not necessary. What happens is the size is going to be standard for me. So if I'm going to have a device, like I'm going to have a mobile is going to be there. So my mobile size will be smaller than the desktop size. I'm using a desktop here. So, but when you're talking about the mobile you're talking about, the size is going to be much smaller than the desktop. So there it's going, when you're going to use the absolute sizes, like what you call the pixels, EM, or you're using it, then what happened? The sizes may not be matching with me, my device size. Then it is always better you go for the percentages can be used, indicating that, okay, this is my window. So for this, I want to use 10%, I want to use it for my logo or something like that. You can define that. Okay. Again, we'll discuss this when you're talking about the media and all that. So like this, you can have the different images can be displayed over here. Okay. Now this is something about your image, okay, height and width and all that. So for example, there is some text is going to be there for me. What I'm doing is I'm putting in a paragraph tag now. Okay, so paragraph. I'm using some paragraph tag there. Okay. Hello, Huddle Rise. I'm putting it in a text there. Okay, then I'm closing my tag. Now I'll save this. Now you see that the text is displayed here, and next to that the image is going to be displayed for me. My image is aligned on the bottom of my, to the bottom of my image. It is going to be, the text is aligned for me to the bottom. Now if I don't want to be aligned to be in the bottom now, so I want to align in the middle, so you can use the option called align option. We can use align, okay, is equal to center. And now you see that the text has moved to the center for me. Or I'll do one thing, I'll use 2 to 3 options, I'll be using it so that we can understand how it's going to work for me. I'm just trying to duplicate, sorry. This stuff I want to get duplicated. So let us see how it's going to be. A default, when I'm not giving any alignment part, okay. So the first line is without any alignment. So it's going to be the bottom align. So the one is on the left and the center I'm making it. Then the other one is top alignment. Now we can see, you can see the text here. What happened? You can see it's going to be the, now here you can see the bottom alignment, the text is bottom aligned. Now here the text is center aligned. Now here the text is top aligned. Okay, like that we can have the alignments can be changed, for images can be done, and you can have the things done. Okay, that is something about your image alignments and all that. Okay. Yeah, right. Okay, so we are seeing that examples what have been there. So okay, how we are going to have the alignments are going to be done top, bottom, like that. Okay. We have something what we call bulleted list. So we have a list of things to be displayed. So for example, let us say you want to display some text like this, like what you call it as, you want to have the different modes of transportation like this you want to display. So sorry, I want to display the different modes of transportation. Okay. So what are the different modes of transportation I want to have? Let's say for example, by road, by air, like that you want to have the modes of transportation I want to have. So this is mean I want to have the modes of transportation by air, by road, like this I want to display. Okay, when I want to display them, so what you call the bulleted list I want to have it. So simply I'm having some symbols I'm going to put, like maybe it's a dot symbol. Okay, something like this. The car, bus, you are seeing it like this, I want to have it. Or I want to have a diamond shape, something like this. So I want to have the different shapes I want to use it, or what you call the different symbols I want to use it, and then I want to display the bulleted list. So for example, now when I talk about my bulleted list now, okay, we have two different types of tags are going to be there. So what the two different types of tags we have it? So one is called OL tag, we are having it. This we are going to use called the ordered list, we call it as. This is called the ordered list. That means this will help me to have the numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. That's called an ordered list. So we have UL is there. So UL stands for the unordered list. So this is called the unordered list. So what is this unordered list means? That will be having, like for example, you can have them as dots. Okay, bullets we call them. These are basically called the bulleted list for me. So this is called the bulleted list for us. Okay. So then one more tag that is connected with this one is what you call LI. We are having it. So what is this LI means? LI stands for the list index. I'm having a tag called the list index tag is there. So this will help me to specify the options there. Now let us see one by one. We'll discuss this. Okay. Now I want to have an unordered list. I'll be using it. Then so in this one I'll be using the list index I'm using. Now, what I want to do is I want to use this one like bulleted list. So by road, okay, I want to have by air like this. So I want to have the options now. Now I'll say by road, okay, by water, okay, by air, right? Three ways of transport. This I've taken it, save it, go to the list, sorry, go to the browser, and then I'm refreshing my browser. So when I refresh my browser, you can see on the bottom it is going to show me that, so it has put me the dot there, bullet it has put by road, by water, by air like this, right? So this is the bulleted list. Now in this bulleted list, okay, so I want to have another sublist to be created. So when I want to create another sublist to be created, again in that I want to have one more UL, I want to have it. Okay, one more unordered list I'm using it. When I say by road, so I will say this is bus. Okay, bus is my one of the options. So for that, I'll use LI, I'm using it. So bus, then one more I want to have. So the another car, I mean road transport, cycle. These three I'm using. Let me save it and go back to the browser and check. So how it's going to be displaying for me the output. So I'll go back to my browser and when I check in, now you see that, so this is by road is one of the one of the list. So in this one, this is going to be acting as a sub list, you call it as. See, when I'm going to have a list inside the list, okay, people call it as nested list. So what do you mean by nested list means? Okay, a list inside a list. List inside a list is called nested list. Okay, I'm going to have a list inside another list. It's what we call the nested list, we call it as, right? Like this one. So by road, we said bus, car, cycle, like this. So instead of this one, by water, 1 minute. Okay. So I'm going to my visual code now. So by water, okay, or what you call it, by water or by sea, or whatever you call it as. Okay. So if I want to have this in information. Now in this one, I want to have one more unordered list I'm using, UL I'm using it. Then now I want to have Now let us say that by C I'm using it. Now I want to use it as ship like that. Okay, I'm using ship there. Okay, or you say it's a boat. Okay, one of the means of transportation for me is so by swimming, I said. Okay, swimming also one of the options for me. So when you say it's a by air, so in this one I want to have the unordered list. I want to have it. So there I'm going to have the list index. So it's going to be the airplane. Okay, so maybe you are using an airplane, or you may be using maybe a glider. You are using it. Okay, whatever maybe you're calling it as, right? Airplane, glider, something like that. Okay, or you may also have an helicopter can be used. Okay, like this. Then, sorry, I'm going to my browser. I refresh my page. Okay, now you see that it's going to give me the options there. Okay, we see the options here: road, bus, okay, ship, boat, swimming. Okay, by air, helicopter, like this we are going to get it. So this is what you're going to use a bulleted list here. Now here, if you look into the output of the bulleted list here, so here there is a circle is going to be given. Okay, so I don't want this one, so I want to have a different option. I want to have it. Then what you do is, so we have the attribute is there called the type there. So I'll be using the option as the attribute there. Okay, attribute type. So type is equal to, I'm giving a square. Okay, I'll just save this FIM. Now you see that there is square symbol is going to be. Earlier there was a circle like thing. Now it's going to be acting as a square like thing. Now, okay. So what are the options that we have? So one of the option is square. The other option I'm having called disk. So we see that it's good. Okay, disk it is. Then square. Okay. So you can use the option called circle. So hollow circle it will come from you. So the circle will not be filled one. The filled one is going to be disk for us. Okay, like the different attributes can be made use of for the different attribute, different values you can make use of it. Like this. That's one. Now this is what we are talking about. So when I'm talking about this UL there, okay. So UL we are going to have the type is one of the attribute. You can define it as circle, a disk. Okay. Circle is this one. This is my one. This is my circle. Okay, this is the disk. It is 2 for me. So this is 2. Square, this is 3 for me. This is going to be option number 3 for me. Like that. You can just find it. Now when you talk about the ordered list, so ordered list, we have more, little more attributes are going to be there for this one. So OL stands for the ordered list, or what you call it, it's called a numbered list, you call it as. Now when I'm using this numbered list, so we have type is going to be there. You have the multiple options are going to be there for the type. Like you can specify the alphabets to be used as your numbered list, or you want to have the Roman letters 1, 2, 3, 4, or you want to have the numerical values 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can specify the type is equal to what is the type you want to. In addition to this, you can also specify the type start value. So you can specify the start. Maybe you're starting with 5, 6. Which what is the number that from which you want to start? You can also specify that. For example, this we are having, right? UL is there, right? The same one I want to have in the form of numbers. I want to have it. I'm just making a duplicate copy of this one. Then so instead of having this one, what you call UL, I'm using it as OL here. Okay, OL. So type is equal to, I want to get the Roman letters I want to get. Just I'm using I am using it. So when I use this I, refresh, now you see that, so it's going to give me what? Here it is going to give me the numbered list. You're going to get 1, 2, 3 like this. I'm going to get. Now again in this one I want to also have again numbers only. I want to have it by road. I want to give 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Okay, then so using this one as UL, you can also use this one also as OL. You can give it. Now I save it. Now you see that when I'm refreshing my page now, so I'm going to get this 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got this. Okay. So I'm getting the option 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's going to continue for me. So 5, it's going to give me. Why it is continuing there? No, okay. By C should have been going by road, and by C should be changing for me. So OL is there. So we are not close the OL, but we are close the UL. We are close. That's the reason why we are not getting the proper output. Okay. I just save this. Now you see. So by road 1, 2, 3. So then it's going to be inside by C. So it's going to be ship, boat, swimming. So again, you want to have this one as what you want to have, like again you want to change this one. Instead of having bullets, so you want to have the numbers you want to have. Now what I do is, so then, so instead of UL, I'll use OL there. Okay, now I'm ending the OL there. Now when I'm refreshing the page, now you see that it's going to give me 1, 2, 3. So it is starting with 1, 2, 3. Now let us say this values what you are having by road 1, 2, 3 is there. So this one ship I want to continue with 4, I want to continue. Then what I am doing, so ship I want to continue there. I'll say OL here. Now I'll say start is equal to 4, I'm giving it. Now when I say start equal to 4, now you see that it is going to continue the this one, the values are going to be continuing. 4, 5, 6 are going to be continuing, right? So again, something like that for airplane also, want to continue with the 7 number, you can use that. Or I don't want to have this. Okay, I'm not specifying the start. Then by default, it starts the values with 1 for me. Now what I'm doing, I'm using type is equal to A. I'm using capital A. I'm using. So when I say type equal to capital A, you see now it's going to give me A, B, C, D like that. The last one, I want to have one more different type. I want to have it. So by air is there, right? So this one I want to have, okay, Roman letters you want to have it. Then I'm giving what OL type is equal to Roman letters, and okay, save. I'm just using refresh. I'm using, and now you can see that. Okay, give me a minute, please. Sorry for that. Okay. Okay, I was just telling you about how to display this list and all this. So if I'm using type is equal to capital A, if I'm using it, now you see here, you're going to get the values in capital letters. I'll use one more option now. So here I'll use type is equal to, instead of I'll use it as small a there. So if I'm using type is equal to small a, now you see the values will be in small letters for me. A, B, C, D. You're going to see the small letters there. Okay. Now you can also specify the start there, what from where you want to start it and all type, and then you can specify the start option can be used. So start. Okay, let us say I want to use start is equal to 10. I'm using it. Now you see that, okay. So it is going to start with the value 10 there. So that is alphabet I, J will be saying it here. Okay, like this. Understood? I is going to be a 9th letter, and then it's going to be J is going to be 10th letter for us. Like this, you can have the options can be. Can I have one more sublist into? Yes, you can also have one more sublist. Okay, all that can be used, right? Okay. So any questions are there, you can ask me. So otherwise, I'll be just moving on. Now here it is OL. So we are going to close the OL here. This one also, it's going to be the OL. We have just copied the previous code, so it's going to UL. It's there. Okay. So it's always better what the tag you're opening it. The tag has to be closed. That's always better for us. Okay, so this is something about your numbered list, or what you call the ordered list, to call it as. Now we have something called the hyperlinks are going to be there. So how these hyperlinks and all that, okay, means hyperlinks are nothing but you'll be giving some links to your pages. For example, the example what I'm seeing it here on my screen now. So you're going to see some links are going to be there here. Okay, the text with an underline, so they are called the hyperlinks. So generally you see when you search for, I mean, you're searching in Google. So for example, let us say I'll go to my browser. I'm going, the browser gone. Yeah, this is my browser. So let us say I'm searching for something. I'm opening my Google, okay, Chrome, right? I'm searching out for something here. So what is that you're going to search? For example, let us say Apple phone, I'm using it. Remember, I'm not using the search engine called the Google. I'm not using it. I'm using a search engine called DuckDuckGo there. So I just typed in, okay, and I press the enter key. So it is going to show me the different text is going to be displayed. See, when I'm placing the mouse pointer over this particular text, so you see that it's the link is going to be showing. So those links are called the hyperlinks. They are called. Understood? So these kind of things are called the hyperlinks. So this is the hyperlink text. So for the text, it's going to have the links behind for us. Now, when I click on this, it will take me to some other page, right? When I click here, it will take me to some other page. It is going to take on me. So when it is going to navigate to some other page, so to which page you are going to navigate, that is what you call the URL. So what is the URL to which you are going to navigate? You are going to specify there. For example, let us say I want to create a link now, and hyperlink has to be created. So what we can do is, so I'm going to use a tag called a tag. I'm going to use. So a tag is the hyper anchor tag. People call it as an anchor tag. Then you give the reference href. I'm giving it. So what is this href? Href means it's a reference or the URL. You'll be giving the URL to which you're going to get navigated. For example, when I click on this link, I want to open the yahoo.com. I want to open. No, let us say you just give yahoo.com. It's better you can use always, you can use a complete path can be given. The complete URL you can give. So it is http://www.yahoo.com. I'm using it. So that is my URL. Close this angle brackets, and then what is that message you want to give onto the screen? So Yahoo, I'm giving it. So this is the message that is going to be displayed on screen for us. Okay, I'll just save this. I'm going back to my browser, okay, to my file. I'll refresh my page now. So you see, it's going to show me Yahoo here. Now, when I click on this one, it will be opening my page is going to be opening. That is the URL, the link will be open for me. Now you click here, the link is going to be open. Once I click on that, you see automatically it's going to open the Yahoo page. Now it's going to open for me. Okay, yahoo.com, it has opened for me. You can see that, right? You can see that the link is Yahoo link. Okay, it's going to open for me, right? Understood now what I'm telling? You can see that link is automatically open. I'll do one thing. I'll go to the previous page. So in the previous page, okay, this is my link, which is there. I'll click on this link. So automatically it will open the yahoo.com for us like this. You can see it's going to open the yahoo.com. Okay. Right. So the text, what you're seeing it. So to get the text, so this is the text. For example, let us say I'm not giving Yahoo. Okay, let us say that I'm using Apple, I'm giving it. Now the output, in the output, the text you'll be saying it, the text what you want to display. So that is going to be, you'll be writing within the anchor tag. And then you're going to give the href. Href is the URL to what is the URL that you want to open when you click on that particular text. Right? That's how it's going to come from it. Now, so this is what we are talking about the example. So these are the examples of the hyperlinks. Different hyperlinks I'm having it. Okay. Remember, the hyperlinks are of two types for me. One is called the internal link. Other one is going to be external link. So what is this internal link and what is the external link means? Internal link means you're going to have the links within your same website. So I'm having my website is there. Inside my website, I'm going to have the links. That is, I'm having a link from one page to another page, or maybe the link within my page. Okay, what you say that external, what do you mean by this external link means? External link is a link which is going to be pointing to other website. Okay, so to some other website. For example, let us say that you are going to have your website is there. From your website, you are trying to you are going to give a link to some other web page. Okay, outside your website. That's called an external link. We call it. Remember, when you are creating the hyperlinks, it's not necessary that only text has to be displayed. You can also display image also can be displayed. Like for example, let us say I want to have an image is going to. Now what I'm doing, what is already I have done, we have placed this logo is there, right? So this logo, I'll copy this. Okay. Now I'm creating an hyperlink, href I'm writing. Href is equal to, I want to open a site called Huddle Rise. Okay. huddlerice.com I want to open. Now I want to give a logo there. So image I'm giving it the logo, everything is going to be there for me there, right? Understood? Now instead of displaying the text now, I'm refreshing it. Now you see that the image is going to be there. Now I'm not displayed any text over here, right? But still you see that when my mouse pointer is away from it, it's an arrow shape. Now when it's moving it, when I'm hovering it over it, you see that it is changing to hand shape for me. Now when I click on this one, now this will be opening my huddlerice.com website. It will be opening for me, right? You see that it's going to open the Huddlerice website is going to open for me. So I given a link there. Understood what I'm telling? Like this. So either we can have the text, what you're going to have, you can give a text there, or for the link, whatever you're going to have, you can also place an image can also be placed. For placing an image, so instead of having the text there, so the previous one, here I'm having the text, that is in line number 71. Now I'm placing an image as a hyperlink there. Okay. So it's understood. Okay, this is how I'm going to work with this one. Okay.